Hi guys, welcome back to Get Your Play Online. My name is Mackenzie and today we are going to be doing some art. So today we are going to be making this really fun ice cream shaving cream art. So we're going to be making this one. And we are also going to be making this one. For this, all you're going to need is just some shaving cream. I just bought mine at the dollar store. Some glue. Some food coloring. Today I'm going to be using pink, some green, some blue, and some yellow. So those are the colors that I'm going to be using. And then we're also going to need, I have 4, but you can always use 1. I really like the ones that are flat. I think they spread the nicest. And then I have some bowls just to put my shaving cream in. You can always mix it on a plate or on a flat surface or something like that. I just think today I'm just going to use bowls. And then I have a spoon to mix my shaving cream. And then I have a brown and a black colored pencil. And these ones are totally optional. I have some sequins and some glitter, and then since I don't have any red sequins, I'm going to be using just a red pom-pom. And then for our paper today, I'm just using some regular white paper. I have my watercolor paper, but any kind of paper you find will work just as well. So and then also another optional step, if you would rather use washable paint instead of the colored pencils, you're totally fine to do that too. So I'm going to get our music started. And then I'm going to tilt you down and so you can see what I'm doing. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do, we are going to make this one first. So we're just going to draw the ice cream cone, which is just an upside down triangle. And we're going to color that in. So if you're using, I'll show you where to use the paint on the next one, but this one I'm just going to use the colored pencils first. I think it's a little bit easier to use colored pencils, especially on this one. Or markers, if you have markers, that's fine too, or crayons, whatever you want to use to color your cone with. So the next what you're going to do is you're going to make some diagonal lines. I'm going to start mine at the bottom. You see what I'm doing? See, it's about one of my fingertips away. And I'm just kind of eyeballing it. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're just going to make some diagonal lines. So now we have diagonal lines like this. So now we're going to go the other way. They do not have to be perfect. It is whatever you want to make them like. This is just kind of the base of our waffle cone. So now it should look something like that. See, my lines are kind of crooked and that's okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our black and we're going to go really gently and make some circles like this to make, see how I made some circles like on here? That's what we're going to do. So I'm going to make some pretty big circles. Go down to through my ice cream cone. Make another one next to it. And make one on top. So it should look something like that. I'll flip this over so you guys can see. And then we're going to set this to the side for just a minute. We are going to take, I just have a towel down here so I can kind of wipe off my spoon in between each one. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one of our bowls, some shaving cream. We don't need very much, just a little bit. So I have about that much shaving cream in my bowl. Then I'm going to take my glue. I just have some regular Elmer's glue. And just a little bit. We're just going to mix. And I'm going to add a little bit more shaving cream. It's better to add too little than to add too much. Mix it. So now I'm going to take my first color. I'm going to do this kind of blue-greeny color. You can do whatever colors you want to. And then I have about 3 drops of food coloring in mine. We'll start off with just a little bit, and then we'll work our way up if we don't like the color. Use one of my paintbrushes. Just kind of scrape excess glitter or excess shaving cream off. Take my paintbrush again, kind of scrape all of it off. It should look like that. So we'll set this one to the side. I'm just going to wipe off my brush, set that one to the side, wipe off my spoon really well, and I'll set this to the side. I'm going to take another bowl, and I'm going to put a little bit more shaving cream in. About that much in my bowl. Some glue. Now the glue is really going to help. It's really going to help your shaving cream stick to your paper, and it's what's going to help it stay puffy. I'm going to take another paintbrush. And if you want to just use one paintbrush, that's totally okay. I just have some extras around my house. So I'm just going to be using one for each color. So now, lay those down, and I think we're going to do some pink. I have about that much pink in mine. We're just going to mix it. And if you don't want to mix yours all the way, I'll show you that one next. You can have these really cool swirls of color and shaving cream. Because I'll do that with my green one, I think. You don't have to do a bunch of different colors. I just think it's really fun to have it be really super bright and colorful. Alright, and that looks mixed enough for me. I'll set that to the side. Take out my washcloth. Wipe down my spoon. I'll wipe down my area a little bit just to make sure I don't stain my table. I'll put my rag back down. I'm going to take one more bowl for this one, and I'm going to put some shaving cream in there. that much. I'm gonna take some green. Or wait, we gotta put the glue in there first. I'm gonna take my glue. Put my glue in there. Take another paintbrush. Get that ready. Put some green in here, just a few drops. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. And this one I have a few swirls, as you can see. Got some swirling of white. You can kind of see it a little bit better on that side. So we'll set it off to the side. And then we're going to save this last bowl for our next color. Or for our next project. Set that to the side. We're going to set this bowl to the side. We'll come back through and we will wipe off our spoon. Wipe off any shaving cream that got on your table. Then we're going to pick up our ice cream again. And we are going to start this way. We're going to start with this one on the bottom. So what you're going to want to do is, you see how this kind of comes inside. So we're going to color, or we're going to paint everything this direction of that line. I'll show you. I think I'm going to do pink for this bottom one. My paper is kind of curling a little bit. So if your paper kind of curls a little bit, all you gotta do is just run it on the side of your table like I just did. It makes it more flat. Alright. So for this one, you aren't going to want to push really hard because otherwise your paint won't get super fluffy. So see how I'm doing it really, really light? It helps to hold it at the end of your paintbrush to make sure that you aren't like smashing your paint down. So hold the end of your paintbrush, and then it should be about this thick when you grab some new paint. And if you kind of mess up and go outside the lines, that's totally okay, because we know that ice cream melts. And it doesn't always stay perfectly round. These are just, the circles that we made are just kind of guidelines. Just a little bit more. Just really, really light strokes, guys. Make sure that we are not flattening our paint that we just made. And that is your first one done. So we're going to set this pink to the side because we can use that later. I think I'm going to grab my green next. Do some green. Put a big blob down. Just kind of flatten it along the circle. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to only color until this line. And smooth it out just a little bit. And get all the way up to the line. Not just a little bit in this corner. Kind of smooth it. Oops. Okay, and there's your second one. We'll put this one to the side, and we'll do blue for our top one. So this one, you're going to paint the whole circle. And get right up against those other colors. Like that, and just kind of push. See how I'm doing it? Kind of push. Just so very lightly. Just to kind of get them to touch each other, but not mix. I'm going to kind of just flatten this a little bit. Okay. We're all done painting with this one. So I'm going to set this one to the side. And for this one, I am just going to put a small cherry on top. And that one is done. Just like that. I splattered a little bit of paint off to the side, but that's okay. And that one's done. So the next one that we're going to be doing is we're going to be making one of these. So this one's a popsicle. We are going to grab another sheet of paper. You can use construction paper, printer paper, whatever kind of paper you want, whatever kind of color you want. This is kind of however you want to do it. I'm going to point you down. And this time I'm going to take and make the pops. I'm going to outline the popsicle part of the popsicle first. I'm going to start kind of 3/4 of the way down, just off to the center of my paper. Draw kind of a line like that, and come up and make a popsicle shape. Just like that. Just like that. And it doesn't have to be super straight up and down. It can be kind of tilted. It can lean to whatever side you want it to. And then what we're going to do for the stick is we're just going to come down, make 2 straight lines, and then make a U. There you go. So for this one, I'm going to color it in. Just like that. And you can use paint, you can use markers, whatever you want. I'm just taking a look over these comments, and I can see a few of our friends in here. Hi, Kyle. Hi, Victoria. It's so good to see you. Kyle, the reason you can't see my face is just because I want to give you a better angle at what I'm doing on my paper. Because I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing. All right, so for this one, I am going to be taking, I think I'm going to take some blue, and I'm going to take some yellow. So I'm going to mix another thing of shaving cream, blue, take my spoon again, just mix that. And for this one, I'm just mixing just a little bit. About that much. Take a paintbrush again, and then we're going to take our yellow. Just a few drops. That's all you need, guys. I have 3 drops in mine, as you can see. Gonna mix that up. Make sure it's really nicely mixed. So for some of our younger viewers, you can choose to paint this all one color. That may be a little bit easier for you. And for some of our older viewers, I'm gonna show you how to make some of these lines in here. You have to be really, really careful with how you color those, just because it's not a big area. So for this one, I have a little bit smaller of a paintbrush. Just like this. I'm going to pick up just a regular, you can use a pencil, I'm just going to use a colored pencil because that's what I have here. I'm just going to make 2 kind of skinny lines. And then I'm going to connect them with the curve. Just like that. Do that again on this side. Just to kind of make the indents that you might see on a popsicle. If you kind of mess up, that's okay, because we're just going to be covering it with the paint anyway. So for this one, I have, let me wipe my brush off, and I'll show you what kind of brush it is. I have a fairly thin brush, just because it makes it a lot easier to color. We're only going to be grabbing a little bit at a time and paint super carefully. kind of push it towards the edges, like we did with our ice cream last time. Kind of pat it in there. See, I'm just getting little bits at a time. Make sure I stay kind of inside my lines. And if you don't want to do this step, you don't have to. Like I said, this step may be a little hard for you if you're younger, just because it takes a little bit more coordination. It takes a little bit more patience and concentration. And it may not be as easy for you. So you can just paint it all one color, and then you can use sequins to make these lines afterwards. You just gotta remember to go really, really slow. All right, so now it should look a little bit like that. So we're going to take our yellow shaving cream paint and set that to the side, and we're going to take our blue shaving cream paint. We're going to be kind of careful with this one too. So I'm going to start at the bottom and do some of the parts that don't have these lines. And I may have to mix up a little bit more of the blue paint. I am just about out. In this one, it may be easier to use a smaller paintbrush, just because you have to get into some smaller areas. I'm going to turn mine this way a little bit. Kind of just press that one a little hard just to get some of the excess off. And I have a little bit of extra paint on the side of my brush, so I'm just going to wipe that off to make sure it doesn't go anywhere on my paper. Get all the way out to the lines. I'm going to flip mine over just a little bit and do this side of my picture. It looks like I'm not going to have to make some extra paint after all, guys. Push them together, just like we did. Be kind of careful not to mix them. Now it looks something like that. And I can see one part where we missed a little bit of paint. I'm just going to get that little bitty part. Add some paint to it. And there's that one, guys. So now the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to take some glitter and some sequins. We're just going to decorate. Alright, so I have some pink sequins, I have some purple sequins, and some green sequins that I think I'm going to use. I'm pretty sure I found these ones at either Walmart or Target. They are super fun to play with. So I'm going to use this green one first. Just shake a few into my hand. Just kind of place them wherever. Tap them down just ever so slightly. I think I'm going to take some of my purple ones, or just a few into my hand. Kind of place them wherever you want. And then with these next ones, I'll show you how to make these lines with sequins. I think that looks pretty good. And these ones are pretty little, so they'll kind of stick to your ice cream if you just kind of like let them lay there. So that's what it looks like so far. We're going to take a few of our really big sequins. I have some that are this big. And all we got to do to make these lines, sliding around just a little bit. And just like that, you would have a line for them. So the last thing that I'm going to do, guys, is I'm just going to put some glitter on there to just kind of make it sparkly. Just because I love when crafts are sparkly. Glitter is one of my favorite things to use, and I think it just really adds to whatever craft you're using. Just like that. Can you see the glitter all shine? Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me on our journey today as we made these super fun ice cream cones. Leave a comment below what your ice cream looks like. We love seeing your pictures, and we will see you next time. Bye guys!